Who is John Galt? You know, I was asked to come and talk to you folks about healthcare, and I'll get to that. But I'd also like to point out that I'm running for Congress as a father, as a husband, as a taxpayer, and a concerned citizen. I'm glad to see folks from my generation, a few of them here, and I'm glad to see folks from my generation here. Glad that Lindsay was here and gave a great talk. But you know what? We need to see more folks that are my generation and younger involved. So next time we have one of these, please grab your children, please grab your grandchildren, because the things that are happening today in Washington affect us, but you know what? They have a disproportionate impact on people like myself and my generation and my children and my grandchildren and their generation. Because when you're talking about doubling the national debt in a little under 10 years, and you're talking about borrowing 50 cents on every dollar you spend in the national budget, you're talking about pushing off the hard choices to generations who don't have a seat at the table, and we need to change that. If you want something to pass on to them that might get them interested, there's a national poll that shows that more people in my generation expect to see a UFO before they see a Social Security check. It's funny, but it's more sad than funny. So let's get the younger folks involved and get them out to the next rally we have. Healthcare. Healthcare is not only an important issue today, it's always an important issue. It literally affects every single living human being. Our healthcare, our health is with us at all times. We have a problem with healthcare in this country. It's too expensive. It's too expensive for employers who provide employer-provided healthcare to employees. It's too expensive nowadays to employees who face ever-increasing costs in their premiums. And it's too expensive for individuals who don't have employer-provided health care and can't get it on the free market. I recognize some folks here, as Stephen said. I was in Dixon a couple of weeks ago hosting a town hall on healthcare. I figured there's enough people running for Congress and congressmen who don't want to hear from the voters and don't want to solicit input from the people who healthcare decisions in our Congress affect most directly. But I do. I wanted to listen. I want to learn, and I want to do what's right for the voters and the constituents of the 14th Congressional District. So I've spent the past almost 2 months getting around talking to healthcare providers, talking to healthcare administrators, and consumers of healthcare. And I want to share a couple of things that I've learned. First of all, I think we can all agree that greater government intrusion into our lives, healthcare especially, is not the answer. The answer is providing market-based reforms that decrease cost, but not at the expense of compromising the quality of care we receive or our access or the decisions that individuals make on their health care. The government should not get between doctors and the patient. And I've got a lot of ideas on healthcare, and I can talk more in depth on a lot of these issues. And there's some other points that I'm not going to get into today. But there's 5 broad categories of things that we can do today on healthcare that won't decrease quality and won't increase costs. It will not cost the taxpayers a dime. First one, and we've heard it already, it's lawsuit abuse reform. When doctors and healthcare providers have to practice defensive medicine, they lose, the patient loses, and the healthcare system loses. Nobody wins. The lawyers do. Exactly. So what we need to do is institute common sense reforms that do not require doctors to order more tests than are necessary, to refer patients to specialists just because they don't want to get sued and when they rely on their own judgment. And we need to decrease, also the incentives for people to bring these lawsuits. So, they call them strike lawsuits. If there's no common sense idea for bringing the suit, they shouldn't be allowed to. These are things we can do. We should do them now. It'll save us money, and it'll increase our quality of our health care. Second thing is we need to increase our ability to choose among different plans and increase the availability of options to people purchasing health insurance on the open market. One way to do that is we need to decrease and break down the barriers that are artificial, government instituted, that do not allow citizens of one state to go into another state to purchase a health insurance product. If Florida or Indiana or Kentucky or any other state in the nation has an innovative insurance product and we as citizens of Illinois want to purchase it, we should be allowed to. It increases competition, and when you increase competition, you bring down costs and you institute greater quality controls. And it's the free market, it's individuals, it's businesses doing it, it's not the government, and that's the direction we need to be going. The third thing we need to do is we need to rely on the things that make this country great. The individuals and small businesses that have made this country what it is, who have the incentive and have the ability and have the wherewithal and the gumption to roll up their sleeves and get things done. And we need to allow them to pool together to purchase insurance on the open market. The bottom line is, the quality of an insurance pool is only as good as the people in it. So if we can allow individuals and small business owners, and you know what? Hey, I'm a member of the NRA. Anybody here a member of the NRA? If the NRA wants to provide a health insurance option, it should be able to. The government shouldn't get in the way of those options, and we should do it now. We can do it now. It's going to bring down costs. It's going to increase competition, and it's going to increase quality. The fourth thing, and we've heard it already, is transparency. If I go in to purchase health care insurance, purchase a health care product, or purchase a drug, I should know, A, the quality of it, I should know what my options are, my alternatives, and I should know where I can get the lowest cost. So when I go into a doctor, I want to be able to know how he compares with the other people on the street who are providing the same service. I want to know what it is I'm getting. I want to know what it is I'm paying for, whether or not I can get it at the same quality at a lower cost somewhere else. And the same goes for my prescription drugs, and the same goes for my health insurance products. I don't know about you, but I get these explanation of benefits in the mail from my health insurance provider. They are anything but an explanation. It needs to be simple, it needs to be clear, and it needs to be done now. And finally, we need to stop the government right now from its attempt to get into our pockets and get into our doctors' offices. We need to band together. We need to remain strong. We can do it, but we need to keep up the energy, and it all begins right here. The next time we get together, I'd like to see some of your children and grandchildren, though, and have a good day, and God bless.